So guys, welcome on our platform. I'll be doing this very with a lot of sensitivity because my phone is actually having a challenge um, in charging, so we failed to actually show the clips, but we may play them on the background. So guys, today being Saturday of a Sabbath day for some people and a holiday for others, I hope you're fine wherever you are. So let's quickly have at least 30 minutes to do this political analysis. It's unfortunate I had started doing it on my other channel before I realized. All right, so welcome in the house, and we stay positive always. We hold the government accountable, and we want things done. So I hope all of you are aware of the sudden death of ANDANJE ENOCK, who had retired, or rather resigned from teaching, the long-serving head of Bungoma High School and other schools in Kenya. So he had resigned to go vie for the political seat of the MP to replace the former Malala at Malava. So unfortunately, he was announced dead yesterday. And guess who did the announcement? Of course, it was Musalia Mudavadi. So there are so many questions surrounding why Musalia Mudavadi had to be the one announcing his death. Yet he had been there to warn Raila Odinga not to bring somebody and plant in Malava for the position, because in game, automatically ODM would have the day. So this becomes very crucial political moments that we have really to look into and ask ourselves why this had to happen. So from the analysis of many people, of course, it will be thought that Mudavadi is actually going to be framed for the death of ENOCK ANDANJE, because he collapsed yesterday in his home, and whoever had to make the announcement public was Musalia Mudavadi again. All right, so let's see whether we can play the videos on the background, because the phone does not have power and it's actually creating problems, or see how to make sure that I play the video. So welcome on board. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a member of the channel. Kindly subscribe to the video to support our growth. And in case of any other support you would wish to offer to our channel, I'll be placing my number right there so that we grow in this journey. It's not easy. You have always to sacrifice time, bundles and all that, and the bundles have turned up to be so expensive, but it is what it is. We have to go through the journey. So Charlie Johnston, welcome to the house. Like the video. Thank you for logging into the channel and listening to us. And I don't know what idea you have about the current politics in Kenya and the situation of what Mudavadi has actually had to find himself in it. Sometimes we do not know that we are being framed for some things until too late. Thank you, Charles Johnson, for the like, and I really appreciate. All right, so let me see whether I can play the videos, but unfortunately I'm trying to raise my phone at a level so that it continues charging as I use, which is not a very good habit. But I wanted by 4 to have been finished the live stream so that I can see whether I can do the vlog. In the morning it was quite chilly, and I would not actually have managed to do a vlog. That's why I'm struggling to finish this, and maybe check through whether I can do a vlog on one thing or the other. Of course, the visitation of a dam, but I'm not very sure whether it can be today or tomorrow. But in the meantime, let's go on with the discussion. Of course, President attending the music festival gala nights and releasing a speech with a lot of promises to Kenyans. Whether they'll be practiced or not, we know not. Yesterday it came out. It came out that CS Murkomen was the one now talking in Parliament about matters of houses. And he was telling the citizens, or rather the people in Parliament, that the president never said that he's going to give Harambee Stars houses. At first, we heard about it and we thought that is what he promised. But later on yesterday, Murkomen stood in Parliament and, rejected that offer and said that it was not true, that the president only said that he would enhance or empower the players to actually have houses, because he was giving them the money and then he would allow them to register to the platform where they can get the houses. According to Murkomen indicated that what the players have to do, they have to register themselves into the housing aspect and then receive houses, so they'll be enhanced. And I was like, hey, this is a policy we've talked about in Kenya, whereby they raise your salary and they ensure that they are raising taxes or prices of goods, so the money goes back to the government again. Because if the players are forced to register, and then they must get houses by support, and they are indicating that those houses will not be fully given, but they have to be supported to register and then have a down payment that becomes a different plan, a mortgage kind of plan. So it is essential that the players now use their thought, and if they think that is not a worth investment, they stop doing that. All right, I appreciate the 2 likes. I don't know who else gave us the likes. I really appreciate. God bless you. As we go deep into this political analysis, let me see whether I can play the video at the background, because I'm actually, as I've said earlier, I'm having a challenge with the charging of my phone. Sometimes this happens. All right, sometimes it happens. So let me play at the background what MUDAVADI said here. Charles Johnson says it's like bribing. It's not even bribing. I think what they do is they give money to people, and once they give it, they want it back. Because bribing, at least you bribe and leave the person who has picked that money to go away with it. But in the situation of the government in Kenya, what they do is that they'll raise your salary maybe to a given percent that you have actually bargained for. And when they increase that to that level, then the next thing they do is to raise maybe demands in relation to your certain level of operation, and then they make sure that you are paying back that money to them, right? Okay, so let's play the video from Musalia Mudavadi stopping Raila Odinga from actually interfering with the Malava politics. And later on, when Andanje dies, then he's the one to make the same announcement. So let me see whether this will play. Okay. Kweli, unafikiri kuna mtu atashinda Tinga kwa upande wa ugonjwa na passport? Will it happen? So why do you want to bring somebody to disturb us in Malava? You can see why I'm telling you. Now the shocking thing here from the reports. All right, you heard that. I think you heard it from a distance. I'll now play the video whereby he's announcing the death of Andanje somewhere here, the UDA representative. Dr. ENOCK Sambai Andanje alipokuwa akijipanga aje hapa ameaga dunia. Yeah, so can you imagine the person who had to announce the death of Andanje was Musalia Mudavadi? Something he should not have done, because if he's the one who was barring other members from vying, then the same member whom he was guarding had to fall, that is UDA, then it communicates very cynical about what actually happened yesterday. Andanje has been a serving principal in many schools, including Bungoma High and others. And it was so saddening. Actually, I saw yesterday on one of the WhatsApp groups, some people whom I know talking about that death. And it's also sad for the family, because now somebody has resigned. It means even that is the returns, they don't get it fully. And they end up in a career which they would have gone for, and they don't get it. So they suddenly die, and it's done and dusted. Imagine. Now let's turn into what the president is promising, and I don't know whether he's telling us the truth, because beyond any reasonable doubt, we've had to listen to him sometimes and see what to have to do. Of course, I'll be coming back to CS Murkomen's idea later, but I just want to play. I'll be playing on the background, so please pay attention, because I have no way of actually playing the videos right here. Because I have to play on the background maybe, but playing it right here, it's difficult, because I'm charging the phone at the same time using it. Let me try, see whether I can do this. But I'm having a great challenge. I think here it can do. So this is what the president had to promise people. January witch. January witch is here. I hope you'll not be witches. Anyway, you said that that is just a name. All right, so let's go for this.
And for YouTube, in the very near future, the government has put in place robust policies and initiatives to promote the music and arts industry, recognizing its potential to create jobs, promote culture, foster national unity, and contribute meaningfully to our economy.
The advertisement will always have to.
The brickmaking machine is
The advertisement will always have to interfere with our, our discussions. All right.
When I was elected in August 2022, only 4 countries were monetized. Only 4 African countries were monetized on Facebook, and Kenya was not one of them. After determined negotiations between the government of Kenya and the top leadership of Facebook, the company honored its commitment, and today, Kenya is among the select few countries whose creators.
All right, so guys, Facebook, of course, for those of you who are active on internet, personally, I have an account on a professional account, Facebook. When you check there about Priska, you will have to find me there. And I'm very active trying to really actualize the monetization aspect and see whether it will flow with the vibe till the end. Because Kenya has turned into a very hard country economically. You smile just because you want to smile, but the reality is tough times ahead for finance. So let's hope that indeed Facebook will create a platform where maybe we'll get an opportunity to earn. So at Sagana Nyeri, President kept promising a lot of things. He even said that they are going to work on M-Pesa payments so that from abroad, when you're doing Facebook, you just get direct payments. He also talked about YouTube aspect. Let's hear more.
Are paid for their original content on the platform. We fought hard and won, and we are not stopping here. Next month, during my visit to New York for the United Nations General Assembly, I will meet leaders of major global technology companies to expand collaboration for the benefit of our creators. This includes integrating M-Pesa into Facebook's payment system to make payouts faster, easier, and more accessible. I will also be asking Google to enable Kenyans to purchase adverts via M-Pesa, a change that will benefit both creatives and micro, small, and medium enterprises selling their products online, creating.
All right, don't forget that taxation will always also go hand in hand. So whatever we are doing in Facebook or YouTube is also taxable, of course, because when you go to file the returns, they ask you, how comes this money that is coming in from a different level? And of course, now that the president has talked about it, there'll be alert to ensure that they collect that tax from us,
An advisory unit within my office to direct and connect creatives directly to the presidency. This formalizes our commitment to treating talent as a strategic national development resource. The creative industry will be a major pipeline for jobs.
Job creation.
Far too long. That we must bring to an end. The Kenya Copyright Board must now take decisive action and resolve the collective management organization standoff once and for all. I am pleased to report that Kenya Copyright Board is now enforcing the requirement of 70% of royalties to go directly to artists, and that non-compliance will lead to loss of licenses for those who are involved.
So the DJs in the house, are you listening to the president? You should be aware because a lot of DJs play music in clubs, in events, weddings, ceremonies without actually having licenses. Hardly do we have them showing licenses as to why they are playing this, and hardly do they share their money with the owners. So the copyright aspect actually is very good move. But then people have to be careful, because even in YouTube or TikTok, sometimes we use people's songs, you know. Now, what does this mean? This means that if you make content and use somebody's music, you are supposed to relay 70% to the owners. Are you getting that? All right, so that is you, President's promises. I don't know what else he promised.
Sufficiently from film production, because the regime that has existed, the legal regime that has existed, was rigid. With these two pieces of legislation before Parliament, we intend to make it easier, we intend to make it possible for large filmmakers who currently are shooting elsewhere to shoot in Kenya.
All right, filmmakers out there have also been promised a platform in Kenya where they'll be filming and earning from it, and they can come to Kenya and do the filming. So I'm imagining the Kenya hood. The Kenya hood continues shortly. All right, so that is it. Now let's come back to Kindiki. Kindiki also had a powerful speech he gave at Sagana State Lodge, you know. Let's listen to him. And remember, Gashago is in the house, but there's a lot of silence. What is up? Because I saw some video about arrest at the airport, but nobody has talked about it yet, you know. I've not seen anybody talk about it. So the celebration of art was at Sagana, and of course Kindiki for once walked with the president and had to give a speech also. So let's briefly listen to him and see what he had to say.
Helps us with a software with which to develop, or with which to drive our country's everyday life.
January, which is saying filming in Kenya is actually a great idea. Of course it is. Kenya has so many resourceful places, very good places to film from, rivers, mountains, hills, and different other places. So indeed, if it's going to be supported, it's a great idea, and I hope it will be positive for the content creators, of course.
The things that we want to see: nationhood, hard work, integrity,
nationhood, integrity, hard work, excellence.
Music can help us to nurture them because it speaks to our souls. Music also helps us to fight the negative things that we want to discourage from our society.
Corruption,
laziness, and all manner of
poor driving, drunk driving,
and crime. We can fight it through music. And therefore, Your Excellency, I want to support the requests that have been made here, that you consider helping this nation to taking us to the next level, and the proposal for an academy for music and arts and the performance sciences will be quite a value addition to this process. Your Excellency.
Now, of course, guys, you know that music is part of the syllabus now, currently in high school. However, when it comes to talent, we may have teachers who are not even into music as a subject, but they are good in molding. However, when it comes to schools, teachers are frustrated. Maybe at some level, trainers from outside are brought, just like Malala was done in Butere. So people who write scripts will be bought from out there because of competition purposes. But the molding of young talents from zero to somewhere, it becomes a problem, because unless maybe you as a parent has an ability to enhance your child's professionalism in music or drama out there, it becomes a blockage in schools, because schools only go for experienced trainers to come and train students for the competition and winning purposes. They want that the teacher who goes to come back with the golden, cup. And we've seen many situations whereby Muheshwar Muheshwar Bone. Hi, from India. Welcome. Welcome. Namaste. Namaste. All right. So welcome in the house, Maheshwar Bonwe. I've seen a lot of films from India. You look at films from Hollywood and Nollywood. Kenya, our filming is still very far, but I can see people are still starting to try. However, there is something about blockage in a manner that maybe filming is done more in towns, and in rurals people don't either collaborate or they don't have that support. I wish that the county governments now are going to support filming even at the grassroots level. What happens now in Kenya is the problem of bureaucracy, because you have to go through a lot of hands, and sometimes favoritism happens and it comes to flap. But I hope that people will look at talent, because what I was saying, you realize that even in schools, those sometimes who are supported to accompany students don't have the skills. The only thing is that they are favorites or they are bootlickers, and therefore they are supported to maybe accompany a team. But trainers are brought. People maybe who are working on these things like music and drama out there. They are brought around, they train students, then the school wins. But at the end of the day, students are not being molded. Their talents are not being molded such that they can know they can also come up with a song, edit, and work out on it. I wish this was the only thing that was being done. It was left in the hands of students and the specific teachers who are interested, then it could be really molding talent. But it comes to a situation whereby maybe people are just doing it for money purposes or for fame purposes or because they are favored and such things, all right? So all is well. From what we've heard, people talking at Sagana, including Professor Shower, professors, students performing right there. Of course, there was this performance, if you missed it out, it was done at Sagana. Let me see whether it will play.
1, 2, DJ Mike Kosawa.
Wapi nduru ya walimu?
DJ,
This is creative dancing, the class that allows students to create their own songs. Let's see. Imagine this song went to nationals. Okay. All right, so that is just part of the items that were performed at Music Festival. General Witch is saying, I follow a great content creator from South Africa, and she made an entire video about the movie industry. I found that highly interesting to know some facts about Kenyan entertainment industry. All right. January is saying would be great. Of course, it would be great. It would be really great for the country to actually support creativity from the grassroots to the rurals to the urban and all over the places. And of course, one of the platforms where Kenya can attain this is through music festival, drama festival, but we still have those grassroots. Like if they go to the content creators to their level, there are those who are good at writing scripts, there are those who are good at acting, there are those who are good at singing, those who are good at playing instruments, and so many others, all right? Of course, let's get to another different aspect, and the aspect is about the battles. The battles in the government, guys. It's a nightmare sometimes, right? A nightmare. But let's see Senende boys before we go on, right? another performance that came out at Sagana as a very interesting performance right there. The president had even to stand. Let's, I don't know, they already walked out or no? So much. Let's see. This school normally performs very well. I've watched a lot of their performances and they are mostly exciting. Let's look at this before we go to a deeper analysis of a different stuff with this school here. Boys hufurahisha. Hawa wanaenda East Africa. Akunda. So guys, you saw that exquisite performance from Sagana. And of course, we are saying that if the country is going actually to support people, the team that has just performed has been performing for the last even 10 years, I would say. Because they have performed year after year, year after year. And most of their performances appear on YouTube's and what have you. Very excellent performances, actually. Very exciting performances. And if, again, just as promised, yeah, so if promised as the president has done that they'll be supported, that will be the best thing ever. Let's see whether we can finish that performance. It was quite exciting, you know. I don't know whether you can finish it. The phone is almost dead. So finishing. All right, so that's a very exciting performance, of course, marking the peak of our discussion. And we didn't have a lot of discussion because one thing is the disturbance of the charging moment and all that. So I promised you 30 minutes and I think we are done. But we still have more discussions maybe later on or tomorrow. Unless there is something I feel I should, but I should charge my phone. I should let my phone rest and charge so that I can use it later because it's actually having issues. Yeah, so good moment. Nice time. Thank you for being a best audience here.